It's hard to imagine becoming a millionaire off one stock, but it's exactly what happened to many people who moved early enough on Amazon, Netflix, Apple, Facebook, or YouTube. And it's exactly what could happen to you if you choose to take the simple trade opportunity in my presentation today. See, I believe that in the coming weeks and months, what I think is the number one early stage tech stock of the decade could start minting more millionaires than all 5 of those companies combined, and likely much faster, which is why I'm calling it the tech retirement stock of the decade. This really looks to be a once-in-a-decade opportunity. It's still early in the game, and a recent NASDAQ article just said, quote, it could become a millionaire-making stock. Which is why in a moment, I'll reveal exactly how 60 seconds today could mean $1 million tech fortune in the next 6 to 12 months. Already, this weird little tech company has 6 million more people using their product per day than YouTube. And even more exciting, days from now, this weird stock could kick off its run as one of the biggest tech millionaire makers of the decade. As the kids say, it's just math. 150 million people use this company's product every month. And 29 billion hours are spent on it every year. That's 43,000 human lifetimes. But if you're thinking this is like another Netflix, let me assure you, this has nothing to do with streaming movies, TV, or anything like that. And consider this, with all the headlines these days blaring about Mark Zuckerberg and his new metaverse, the company behind this stock has been actively and quietly doing the metaverse for years, long before Zuckerberg said a peep about it. But trust me, this isn't just some Facebook knockoff. It's also not Bitcoin, 5G, or marijuana either. I'll tell you exactly what it is shortly, how it could hand you a gigantic cash windfall this year, and why I believe it won't just be bigger than Netflix, but could be bigger than Netflix, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube combined. Once the public realizes this little tech stock is really a sleeping giant that's about to wake up and roar, the $1 million you'd have made as an early entrant on Facebook, Apple, YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon could look like a toy poodle in the palms of a 600-pound gorilla. But wait, is it really possible to retire on a single tech pick? And what about if you've never bought a stock before, or if you don't have much money to start with? Well, let's look at how a $250 investment would have performed in Apple, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, and Netflix. That's $257,850 on Apple, $45,452 on YouTube, $491,500 on Amazon, $4,250 on Facebook, and $341,250 on Netflix. As you can see, any one of these investments is a jackpot win. There's a set of hidden catalysts buried inside Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, and YouTube, which help turn them from no-name stocks into millionaire-making home runs. And as I'll show you, today's tech IPO has all 5 of the same catalysts, which is why staking your claim now could be like getting the top 5 tech stocks of all time rolled into one. So instead of imagining where you'd be with just one of those cash payouts, picture where you'd be with all 5. That's a tech stock retirement fortune worth $1,140,302. As you can see, well over $1 million from a literal handful of $250 investments. These numbers aren't option trades or some kind of funny math. In fact, they come straight from my proprietary research study seen here. Apple up 103,048%. Amazon up 196,535%. Facebook up 1,606%. Netflix up 146,000%. YouTube up 18,081%. Since the 90s, thousands of internet companies have come and gone. But these 5 reshaped our daily life forever. Each one had what I call a hidden catalyst that helped it race past competitors and make investors rich. Imagine the unbelievable freedom an extra million or two would provide. Like a 300-pound weight off your chest. You could finally stop worrying about money, travel wherever you want, and help whoever you want. all of which could be possible with the rare second chance today's opportunity provides. Now, I know you may be asking, what are the 5 tech catalysts that power these companies to change the world? Well, for Netflix, it was recurring revenue. For Apple, the App Store and iTunes. For YouTube, it was the freemium model. For Amazon, it was online shopping. And for Facebook, it was the network effect. Incredibly, the same catalysts that help explode those 5 great tech stocks and unlock million-dollar fortunes for shareholders are all built into the stock I'll reveal today. Which means I see today's new tech stock checking all 5 of these boxes. And I'll show you exactly how in a moment. But right now, I want to prove why. And if you're looking to pocket fistfuls of early-stage tech cash, the fattest profits are often made early. Now, nothing is guaranteed, and you're not sure to make money, but USA Today reports, no doubt betting on the right stock when it first trades as a publicly traded company can be immensely profitable. Let me emphasize first with an example. If you'd invested $1,000 early in Netflix in 2002, you could have cashed out today with $1.46 million. Incredible. But if you'd waited just 5 months longer and invested the same $1,000 in March 2003, you'd have walked away with $373,285 today instead. That's over $1 million less. By no means is that pocket change, but it does show you if you want the chance to walk away a tech stock millionaire, hesitating on today's opportunity and waiting even a few days could very well become $1 million difference in your results. With opportunities this rare, it's a risk to wait, especially when top tech analysts at companies like NASDAQ are whispering this stock could become the next YouTube. Andreessen Horowitz, America's #1 tech hedge fund and early investor in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, suggested it could be, quote, the next social network, one that's bigger than anything we've seen yet. Investing legend David Z, who made his first billion investing in LinkedIn, believes this will become, quote, the largest social experience in the world. But let me be clear. We think this company isn't a big tech ripoff or a flavor of the month social media platform. This amazing business does something that looks exponentially bigger, something I didn't even have words to describe until a story involving an 8-year-old made it clear to me. You can almost think about this company like a virtual amusement park, an online universe that 36 million people wander in every day. But just like the real world, things are being bought and sold too, with real money. That's the sweet spot of today's tech retirement stock. Yet this hardly scratches the surface of this rare opportunity. Before I give you the full scoop, allow me a brief introduction. My name is Ross Givens, Chief Investment Strategist of Stealth Mode Investing. My job is to find where the smart money is going and stick to it like super glue. I cashed in my first stock for a gain of 37% on Microsoft at age 12. I was vice president of a major U.S. investment bank boasting $3.2 trillion in assets, managing money for some of the richest institutions in the world. My job was to grease the wheel of this money-making machine, to execute massive orders for super wealthy individuals and institutions without revealing my cards. In working behind the scenes, I developed a highly effective system that helps pinpoint the next moves of billionaire Wall Street insiders. But after managing money for some of the richest institutions in the world, I grew tired of serving only Wall Street and its system. So in 2017, I launched out as a financial freedom fighter, bringing my unique tools and mindset to regular, hardworking Americans so they can have a chance to beat the big players at their own game. Since then, I've helped a ton of readers through my services. Like Jim F., who says this: great trade, made 50% on 5 contracts for a total of $2,230, closed today. All this in one day. Then there are longtime subscribers like Robert P. and Carl, who both wrote in, good day, Ross. I continue to enjoy the profits from the stock picks with your service. I've been on board with you for quite a while now, and I have found your methodology to be the most consistently profitable I've used in the past 15 years. And wow, sweet call, Ross. That stock took off like a rocket, despite the fact that if you were a technical analyst, you would have been running as fast as you could away from this stock. Amazing. Now, I can't promise you'll achieve the same extraordinary results as these folks, or that you will make money. But you already know nothing in the stock market, as in life, is ever guaranteed. That said, if you're anything like many Americans I talk to, and you watch stocks like Amazon, Netflix, and Apple slip through your fingers, then today is your opportunity to turn a profitable new page. Here's your rare invitation to make up a decade of lost profits in a single trade with what could be the #1 tech stock of the decade. Then today is your opportunity to turn a new profitable page. One move could position you for life in the profit fast lane, a fresh tech windfall stuffed in your bank account. And all it takes is choosing to make an easy copy and paste trade I'll share with you today. While most experts babble on about complex asset strategies, 300 stock portfolios, and other tricks designed to squeeze as many hard-earned dollars out of your pocket as they can, I'm going to give you this simple rundown on one tech stock and why I think there's more money at stake now than ever before, the 5 reasons I believe it's set to create a new generation of tech stock millionaires, a simple 60-second trade that offers you the chance to become one of them, plus the weird beehive strategy that made Facebook the fastest growing company of all time, and how today's company legally copied it to double in size virtually overnight. Millions of Americans spend more time using this product than Facebook, YouTube, and Netflix combined. You already know many tech stocks have gone on a tear the last decade. I realize having 20/20 hindsight isn't a special skill, but getting in on the right tech stocks at the right time is. And it is a skill I've dedicated my life to. As I mentioned before, as vice president of a major bank with $3.2 trillion in assets, I manage money for some of the richest institutions in the world. And I've optimized a unique and powerful trading system that identifies trends for potential breakout growth. Let me pop the hood and show you in detail how my system works. It allows me to see what the big money or institutional investors are up to, usually long before the general public has any idea what's going on. I call this hidden big money action stealth trades. Here's a recent stealth chart for Mind Medicine. See that mountain of activity? The vast majority of investors never saw this secret accumulation happening. But I knew from my days of managing millions in assets that this unusual action often means only one thing. Huge sums of money are getting positioned before volume spikes, before CNBC reports on the stock, and before the price really takes off. What happened next is killer. You'll see the market in a whole new way when I overlay this stealth trade action with the actual price chart in blue from the normal stock market. What you see when you log in to your brokerage account. The black chart represents the stealth trade activity. The blue chart represents the company's stock price in the normal market. You see stealth trades in black peaking on the left side of the chart. That means the big money is probably in. You'd think the price would go straight up, but most of the time you'd be wrong. The fat cats have a few more tricks up their sleeve. First, they may place a big sell order that drives down the price and shakes out everyday investors like you. These orders hit people's stops, allowing the fat cats to buy more shares on the cheap. Then, once they control all the shares they need to, and there are almost no other sellers left, they move in for the kill. They jump back in and start accumulating massive amounts of the stock. The volume rises and bam, the stock usually takes off like a rocket. It's all up from here. In this case, it jumped by a phenomenal 728% in blue. Since I know what to look for, I spotted this unusual activity. I got out at 57 cents and closed my last position at $4.72. Just think if you too had a stock-picking GPS that sniffs out these stealth trades in advance. You could have made a stealth trade on Mind Medicine in the regular old stock market like I did and captured a whopping 728% gain in just 77 days. How does a $36,400 gain on a $5,000 investment sound to you? What we're seeing here are predictable signals that strongly suggest a stock is positioned for a major increase in value. Time after time, here's what my research reveals is happening. First, the hidden activity in black goes crazy in the stealth market. Then, sometimes just days later, the price in blue shoots up in the regular stock market. Now, the Mind Medicine example isn't just some one-off experience. Check out these recent examples. Alpine 4 Technologies, IZEA Worldwide, Kirkland's. What you're looking at is graphic proof that had you chosen to follow my approach when the stealth trading trends were identified, you could have potentially earned 6 times your money, 7 times your money, 14 times your money, all the way up to an extraordinary 73 times your money. That's turning a modest $1,000 investment into $73,000, or $5,000 into $365,000. Think you could pay off your debts with that and get your car collection off to a good start? What else could you do with that kind of cash to work with in your bank account? Simply by acting decisively when these stealth trade signals reveal something is going on with the stock. But when you apply these stealth trading principles to mammoth companies like Google or Amazon, what you get is something out of this world. Consider Google in 2009, before it shot up 12x. Today, every $500 you put in 2009 will be worth $6,000. Then there's Amazon, which went on to grace investors with 49 times their money. Every $2,000 invested in 2009 would have turned into $99,264 today. But what if you'd invested $5,000 back then? Today, you'd have an extra $248,000 to your name. Next, consider Apple. If you had the kind of specialized knowledge we're talking about here in 2009, you could have bought it before it shot up 3,888% to today's prices. That's almost unheard of. 39 times your money from the iPhone maker. That tech stock alone would have been plenty for me or anyone else to retire on. Finally, if you got into Microsoft for $205 in 2014, you'd be 5 times richer if you held through today. Any one of these tech stocks could have changed your life. Together, you'd be sitting on 105 times your money. Just $1,000 in each back then will be worth $105,000 today. This kind of profit is possible because each of these companies had one great innovation, a catalyst that allowed them to change the world. If you missed the giant tech gains of the last decade, don't sweat it. Because in my opinion, today's company is still a real bargain, and the stock is just plain different. Everything about it grabs my attention. For example, even when it went public, it wasn't by using the boring old IPO you've seen before, which favors big banks and their fat cat friends above investors like us. It used a special type of IPO that removes the expensive middlemen. Better yet, it could be like buying Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, and YouTube, all rolled into one tiny stock that's got the potential to pop off at any moment. But what exactly are the 5 tech catalysts I've been talking about? Well, let me answer your question with another question. What does a perfect tech stock look like? I bet it would make billions of dollars with subscription plans attractive to millions, like Netflix. Leverage user-generated content to rake in profits, like Apple. Use a freemium model to attract millions of new customers, like YouTube. Harness the network effect to grow with exponential speed, like Facebook. And make other people's stores sell stuff for you, like Amazon. I know you're smart enough to see where I'm going here. Yes, when I look at today's little-known tech stock, it checks every box I just listed. Now, if you're as finger on the trigger excited as I am, great. In a moment, I'll show you how to lock in everything you need, including the ticker symbol, company name, and what kind of potential gains we're looking at. If you're more of a careful Kevin, that's fine too. I'm going to show you step by step in astonishing detail how today's genius company legally copied the secrets of the world's top 5 tech stocks. Starting with Facebook. Tech catalyst number 1 is the network effect. Remember when Facebook was something a coworker or friend casually mentioned? Then the next day, all your kids were on it? Then practically overnight, everyone you knew was on it. This kind of explosive user growth is the network effect. It's the secret that made Facebook one of the fastest growing companies of all time, according to Investopedia. Now, this exact phenomenon is happening with today's stock. In the past year, they've doubled daily users. 150 million people use their product every month. And remember, this company was doing the metaverse year after year, long before headlines started giving all the credit to Zuckerberg. And now you can own a piece of this company while it's still cheap. When the network effect takes hold of a stock, like it did with Facebook, it's not hard to see how million-dollar fortunes can be made. I'll prove it to you right now. Look at this picture and tell me which network is the most valuable. The one that connects you with one person, 4 other people, or every person you know and anyone you ever wanted to meet. You can see how obvious it is for yourself, and how the bottom one, which looks like a beehive, makes the most money. I'll remind you, a $5,000 investment in Facebook in 2012 would have spit out a giant tech payday of $85,300 if you held through today. And now, the same catalyst that helped make Facebook investors 17 times their money during that period is quickly taking hold of today's stock. One investor, thrilled with the word-of-mouth growth, said, quote, "We get really excited when we invest in a company that builds on a compounding network effect." If you look at the numbers, excited is a $300 million understatement, because these genius billionaires all bought Facebook when it was a college dorm room stock. And now they are all invested in today's tech retirement stock. One glance at this all-star investor lineup tells you something big is happening inside this tiny tech stock. Meet the Facebook billionaires who are gung-ho on this 5-1 mighty tech pick. First is Mark Andreessen, net worth $1.5 billion. He literally invented the modern internet web browser and landed on the cover of Time when he was 24 as a newly minted billionaire. Personally advised Mark Zuckerberg to turn down a $1 billion offer to sell Facebook in 2004, a narrowly avoided mistake which would have cost Mark $100 billion. And global business news site QZ.com called his Facebook investment a, quote, billion-dollar candy machine. Then there's Ben Horowitz, net worth $3.5 billion. Forbes ranked Horowitz the number 4 venture capital investor in the world, one of Silicon Valley's most respected investors. He made early bets in smash hit tech companies like Skype, Twitter, and Instagram. And he's the best-selling business author of The Hard Thing About Hard Things. David Z, net worth $1.4 billion. David got filthy rich from his investment in LinkedIn, according to Business Insider. Told top tech investing website VentureBeat that the tech IPO retirement stock, quote, reminds me of the early days of Facebook and LinkedIn. And he recently confessed to the Wall Street Journal that he cut, quote, one of the largest checks we've ever written for a single company in our history. And he scribbled it out to the IPO company I'll reveal today. But here's the rub. Very many of these stocks these men invest in are closed to the general public. So average gems like you and me can't get in. But that's the beauty of today's tech pick. You don't need $1 million ante to get rich in their high-stakes game. Just an internet browser and a regular brokerage account put you at the same table as these hotshots. It's as easy as following the directions to reheat your favorite takeout meal in the microwave. Together, these men invested hundreds of millions of dollars for one simple reason. Smartest hedge funds in the world believe this little tech stock could be the next Facebook. If you're looking for a stock that can pour a lifetime of wealth into your pockets, doesn't it make sense to follow the footsteps of someone who's been there? These investors made billions on Facebook. And out of the thousands of available companies, they picked out today's stock as a prospective heavy hitter. That's why I believe this rare opportunity could give you the chance to add $100,000, $300,000, even $1 million to your account. I'm talking about the kind of money that lets you kick back every day knowing your peace of mind is built on a foundation that's financially rock solid. I can tell you that first time I cashed out big, I felt years of stress just melting away. Gone were the worries that kept me awake all hours of the night. For me, a new level of unlimited freedom opened up to eat, travel, and enjoy life on my terms. What would that mean for you? Whether it's a new RV to explore the national parks, erasing the mortgage for good, or just enjoying your favorite sushi every week instead of every month, that's all up to you. But it could start right here with this one stock. And while this company is still relatively unknown for the time being, this next catalyst is more than a century old. In fact, Netflix stole its 126-year-old secret from the king of cash flow. Tech catalyst number 2 is recurring rivers of revenue. And it's the answer to how, in less than 2 decades on the public markets, could one tech stock turn every $1 into $1,365, $500 into $682,000, and $2,000 into $2.73 million. The answer is recurring revenue. Netflix borrowed this secret from a man named King C. Gillette. Even though Gillette's original idea was ridiculed and written off, he quickly rose from laughingstock to household brand to multi-millionaire. Now, more than a century later, his creation is probably sitting in your medicine cabinet. Inspired by the disposable bottle cap, Gillette set out to invent a disposable product that would change the world, the replaceable razor blade. With this one move, he unleashed raging rivers of sales. Because when his customers' blades ran out, they bought more. This fueled a profit bonanza for any investor holding shares in his company. Incredible. A mere $500 invested in the Gillette company when it first issued shares would have grown into a staggering $2,050,000 today. The equation is simple. Millions of customers times recurring monthly payments equals huge profit. And now history is repeating itself. Netflix used this age-old secret to soar 136,485% in under 2 decades. And today's stock is using the same secret to grow profits and hopefully send investors to the moon. Just like Netflix, this company's members are practically spending money on autopilot. In 2021 alone, revenue jumped 102% year over year. And this, while so many companies are still struggling to come to terms with the effect of COVID. But it gets even better. Because instead of losing money, like most companies that IPO, this company is on a streak of 5 consecutive quarters, surpassing $100 million in free cash flow. Now, this is a key difference between today's stock and nearly every other. Many early-stage tech picks get slaughtered because they lose more money than they make. Take Casper Sleep, the online mattress company. Its first day on the market, shares dropped 30%. 6 weeks later, it had plummeted from an IPO price of $15 down to just $3. Forbes warned against buying, quote, Casper, the latest money-losing IPO. It was too late for many hopeful investors. Lying bloody in the slaughter, they'd taken big losses on Casper. Another example is Sonam Technologies, the phone and tablet accessory company. 3 months after watching their shares hit $17, Sonam was down to $3.79 per share. Less than a year later, after declaring the negative profits were worse than anticipated, it traded at 63 cents a share, a devastating 96% loss. Take these as warnings of the risks of investing in no-profit IPOs, especially in an era when Business Insider reports, unlike the no-profit clunkers who putter closer to bankruptcy every day, today's company started turning a profit back in 2015. Last year, their cash flow increased from $5.9 million to $292 million. That's an increase of 48 times more cash. That's why I see the stock in a different league entirely, because it's already banking massive profits. This outstanding opportunity is fueled by tech catalyst number 1, the network effect. Tech catalyst number 2, rivers of revenue. Now let's turn to our third powerful catalyst and how this one simple move busted open a floodgate of new paying customers for today's company. Tech catalyst number 3 is the freemium model. In 2006, Google bought YouTube for $1.65 billion, which frankly seemed insane at the time. Now experts value YouTube at $300 billion, or 181 times more valuable. Today, you can lock into what could be the next YouTube, or bigger, while it's still cheap. See, every $500 piece of the YouTube pie back then is worth an estimated $90,909 today. Nearly 6 figures from what started as a few $100. Yet, stick with me and you'll see why I think that's a small fry estimate for today's stock. Even though top financial news outlets are comparing today's stock to YouTube, I still believe that's the understatement of the decade. Because the real potential here is like having the powerful catalyst features of the top 5 tech stocks of all time rolled into one. This opportunity wouldn't be possible without the third tech catalyst. A page today's company tore right out of YouTube's playbook. This exact freemium model helped explode YouTube's value 181 times over. See, it wasn't the cute kittens that made YouTube investors rich. It was letting people watch for free that did. Because if you're going to make a stone-cold fortune in tech, users are the path to riches. And that's just tech speak for people who use the product. By letting users try its platform free, YouTube now reaches billions of people per day. And if you've ever had a free sample at Costco, you know it makes sense. This freemium model is simple, but rarely executed well. Step 1, make your product free to try. Step 2, gain millions of new excited users. And step 3, turn your free users into paying subscribers by offering an upgraded experience. Steps 2 and 3 are the tricky parts. YouTube mastered step 3 by removing ads for a small monthly fee. But get this, every day, 6 million more people use this new tech company's platform than YouTube. Now that you know this company has harnessed the network effect like Facebook, tapped into raging rivers of revenue like Netflix, and successfully copied YouTube's freemium model, you're probably wondering what the heck they actually sell, right? The answer will shock you. But to fully understand the profit potential and why, among the largest age demographic in the world, 3 out of 4 Americans are using this product every day, start by imagining an infinite library of content like that of YouTube or Netflix, but also a place where your friends can gather and talk, with a shopping mall 1,000 times bigger than the Mall of America inside. Is there even a word to describe such a thing? Until this conversation someone had with an 8-year-old, I didn't think there was. What if I told you the best comparison for today's tech buy isn't a tech company at all? Because it's actually more like a massive digital theme park. As much as I'd love to take credit for this multi-billion-dollar idea, it didn't hit home with me until I heard the story about a guy and his 8-year-old neighbor. And this sort of thing happens countless times every day now, with these kids' parents, aunts, uncles, and neighbors. So this man saw a kid's name's Caleb, sitting on a park bench using this company's app on his phone. He says, "Hey, Caleb, you having fun?" Eyes wide as dinner plates. He looks up from the iPhone and said, "Yeah, I just got a new cowboy hat with my allowance money. Oh, and tomorrow, me and Jackson and Olivia, we're going to Rome. We're going to make pizzas. These are my friends from Denver and Fargo." It's in Canada, right? And before he could even answer, his phone buzzed. "Oh, sorry, Mr. Pierce. The concert's starting. I got to go." But he didn't go anywhere. Caleb put his headphones on, sat there and danced like he was in the front row at Madison Square Garden. And when I heard that and thought about my own 8-year-old nephew, that's when it struck me like a flash of lightning. This wasn't a video game, a social network, a shopping app, or a streaming service. This digital world is so fun, immersive, and real. It's everything we love about a theme park packed into a 24/7 online experience. Kids just can't get enough, and I can't blame them. Imagine if one of the world's billionaires created a new theme park, a monster complex as big as the entire state of Texas, open for adventure and business 24/7. It would dwarf the current big-name parks. In this new mega theme park, you could play and talk among friends, shop at real stores with real money, even start your own digital storefront. The way older companies around the globe made that world for a whole generation and their kids, this company made a similar world for a new generation of kids and grandkids. Only you don't have to pack up the SUV or even a station wagon to go there, because this digital evolution is all in the palm of your hands 24/7. Incredible, no doubt, but is this business model profitable? Well, let's take a look at an example. This Disney's IPO, it's gone on to return a whopping 2,782,825%. Talk about the flying carpet ride of the century, enough to turn every $100 invested at IPO into $2,782,924 if you held through today. That's the power of creating an immersive new world for your customers. Look closer, and you'll see this understanding gives you a critical edge, because very few investors really get this. While Wall Street thinks it's just a video game, hedge funds thinks it's a social network, and others ignore it completely. The magic here is potentially much bigger. The potential profits too. Because the way this company blends together social interaction, music, movies, games, and shopping, it is a profit cocktail that until now, only Disney knew how to mix. And don't forget, it took Disney a century to do it. But imagine this for a second. Instead of spending years and billions of dollars to make movie and theme parks, what if someone else built it for you for free in a week? Sounds like a Hollywood princess movie, doesn't it? Except that's the magic formula behind another smash hit company who figured out how to do exactly this back in 2003. I'm talking about Apple. Tech catalyst number 4 is user-generated content. Few people know Apple's number one success secret wasn't the iPhone or Mac. It's this baked-in profit machine. Wall Street Journal calls it, quote, Apple's secret but very large profit center. I just call it Steve Jobs' greatest innovation. Lost beneath the hype of the iPhone, most people miss it completely. So, what is it? The App Store, Apple's $50 billion baked-in profit machine. Steve Jobs realized that creating new apps for the iPhone was risky. Similar to how most songs never reach the Billboard Top 40, most apps are duds that never make money. So it's impossible to tell what's a hit until after it's made, and after you spend all the money making it. Rather than spend all of Apple's money creating this content, his light bulb moment was this. Steve Jobs made other people pay to create millions of iPhone apps. This masterstroke allowed Apple to rake in nearly $50 billion in 2020, helping transform it into a tech giant worth $2.29 trillion. And if you were lucky enough to get in early in 1980, turn your $500 into $515,500. Incredible, but get this. Today's company already has 20 times more apps than you can find in Apple's App Store. A move that must have Steve Jobs grinning from tech heaven. They're borrowing this proven model, and their users have built millions of little apps, each one an online world kids can safely explore. But unlike Disney, who had to build its world from the ground up, this company lets other people build it for a cut of the profit, just like Apple. Genius, right? Now, I won't get too far ahead here, but I simply can't wait to share the details of today's tech retirement stock. I've put the name, stock ticker, and plenty more data into an easy-to-read report you can claim in a moment. It's called the number one tech stock of the decade. In my view, only one tech stock is poised like this right now to grow into a trillion-dollar company. Buying this stock could be like getting Amazon, Apple, Facebook, Netflix, and YouTube all rolled into one. Because the 5 tech catalysts that help turn those companies into household names and ordinary folks into millionaires are now baked into the tech stock you'll discover in my special report. I'll give you the full details of this no-brainer urgent opportunity in a moment. But just so you're clear on why I believe is an absolute slam dunk investment, I need you to flash back to April 11, 1997. If you'd invested $510 in Amazon that day, shares would have cost you $1.73 a pop. And now that Amazon is trading around $3,400 per share, your small stake will be worth a stunning $1 million. Amazon's stunning growth wouldn't have happened, however, without this final 5th tech catalyst. Third-party profits, the lazy way to $8.01 billion per week. There's no dispute, Amazon changed the way we buy and sell everything. And while I could talk all day about how Jeff Bezos is the undisputed king of capitalism, I'll quickly cover the final tech catalyst so you can take the next step with today's opportunity. What most people don't know is most of what Amazon sells, other people make. Amazon just takes a cut. That's why I call Amazon the laziest company ever. Market researcher Statista confirms that third parties make over half of Amazon's sales. With an everything store like Amazon funneling $386 billion per year through its website, attracting the undivided attention of hundreds of millions of hungry shoppers, you'd be a fool not to sell on their platform. In real estate, they say location, location, location. Well, if your store is online, Amazon is the only location that matters. The tech retirement stock I'm sharing with you today is the most impressive online store I've seen since Amazon. There's already more than 345,000 shops, who made an estimated $250 million last year alone, selling digital products on this Amazon-like platform. This proven model lets others do the heavy lifting for you. Lazy? Maybe, but admittedly genius. Which brings me to another thing Facebook, Amazon, and Apple have in common. Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, all great leaders. As for today's tech company, that's the final thing I'll break down. The legendary CEO now has 15 plus patents protecting his genius technology. From Minnesota-born engineer to leader of 2021's top tech stock, this company's CEO, whose first name is David, is in my opinion, the most underrated mind in the business world. And he's been on a 30-year hot streak with no end in sight. A Stanford University graduate, he earned a General Motors Scholar in electrical engineering. Sold his first company for $20 million at 35 years old. Named one of the 100 most intriguing entrepreneurs by Goldman Sachs. Now, he's helping his company stack up 35 patents to shut out any competitors. Yet, that isn't David's real genius. His true masterpiece was taking a 71-year-old technology, spinning it into a digital theme park, and cracking open a potential trillion-dollar market. It's been right under your nose, a story that, as TechCrunch put it, quote, has gone mostly untold. Because if your kids aren't 8 to 12 years old, you've probably never seen what David's product looks like. MarketWatch says, quote, if you don't have tweens, you've probably never heard of it. The worldwide pool of potential customers is a staggering 2 billion people. Every day, the average user spends 3 hours on David's gaming platform. And when I say gaming, I don't mean video games. I'm talking about the online universe where kids can chat with friends, engage in fun experiences and play games, buy and sell digital products, build little worlds like online architects, start virtual businesses. One 24-year-old is making $1 million per year with his. If that sounds pretty out there, I hear you. But even the Wall Street Journal called this stock, quote, the future of gaming. That's just the tip of the iceberg with today's company. And this is what Wall Street keeps missing. When David graces the pages of history next to Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, he won't be remembered as an online gaming CEO. He'll be remembered for this. Just like the world-shaping companies those men built, I think David did something equally groundbreaking. In the same way, Steve Jobs turned a computer company into a $1 trillion ecosystem of phones, tablets, laptops, apps, and headphones. Or Jeff Bezos turned an online bookstore into an everything store, advertising platform, pharmacy subscription service, and movie theater. And Mark Zuckerberg turned a college social network into an advertising platform, messaging service, photo sharing app, yellow pages, and virtual reality. David baked all 5 catalysts of the best performing tech stocks into his one little known company, shifting into a profitable category of its own. I'm convinced he'll go down in history as one of the tech greats. And not 1 in 100,000 Americans knows who David is. Few paid attention when his company hit the New York Stock Exchange last year. That places you in a rare group of investors on the ground floor of a true phenomenon. Listen, this stock shot up 44% in the first minute of trading in March 2021. Then later in the year, it shot up 42% in a single day after posting strong third quarter results. I've said it already, but let me repeat, this stock could explode any week now. As Investors Business Daily put it, this stock, quote, is trading in record high territory for its position as a leader in emerging metaverse. And did you notice that part about the metaverse? I mentioned earlier how this company was doing the metaverse long before Zuckerberg became the poster boy for this inverse trend. So as the metaverse trend goes mainstream, I expect it will only add fuel to this stock's fire, which means it could very well keep going up, up, up and make its previous gains look like child's play. If you're prepared to act, now may be the best time for you to make your move. It's the only tech pick I've ever seen to perfectly blend the secret ingredients of Facebook, Amazon, Apple, YouTube, and Netflix. You can still stake your personal claim in this company for prices I think are dirt cheap. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, then you can decide for yourself if you're ready to get off the sidelines and ride this tech IPO retirement stock for all it's worth. Look, I've been in the business for a long time. I've evaluated hundreds of stocks. But today's stock is the only pick I believe could soar even higher than all 5 of these stocks. And as you're probably aware, opportunities like this don't come around often. That's why time is of the essence. Think about how rare and exciting it is to be alive to watch this 5-in-1 tech unicorn race onto the market before it becomes a household name. How much more special would it be to lock in your shares early, before they explode off the starting block like an Olympic sprinter the way I believe they will? Yet I still know 99% of the people who read this message today will do nothing. It doesn't matter how many facts I list showing this tech pick is ready for takeoff. It doesn't matter how many tech insiders I show who built their billion-dollar fortunes on early-stage tech stocks are clearly excited to invest in this stock. It doesn't matter how I've shown that companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft have the power to generate monster tech profits. Because for the 99% of people who do nothing, logic doesn't matter. They're slaves of their emotions, controlled by fear. Yet that bold 1% that do take action, they listen to the facts and hit mute on the fearful voice in their head that wants to sabotage their best life, and then they go for it. Today, you have a chance to go for it as well. To choose to be in that action-taking 1% during the still early stages of this exciting tech retirement stock that could be the #1 wealth-building opportunity of the decade, if not the century, if you act fast. Or the other option is to ignore this opportunity. And a few weeks from now, when you see it on MSNBC, the feeling of missing out on a stock that could have funded your retirement will sting like hell. Because today, you can claim immediate access to my full research report on everything you've heard about. It's called the #1 tech stock of the decade. And inside, you'll get all the details in this cutting-edge tech company. You'll get the ticker symbol of the company, what I think are the best times to buy your shares for maximum potential profit, and exactly what prices I think to pay for your shares to get into this opportunity down to the penny. And I spelled out in simple to follow terms. Even if you've never invested before, even if you've lost money in the past, even if you don't know the first thing about tech stocks or you've never touched a tech stock. However, if you do want to discover more about this explosive company, how much money could be at stake, and just how big they could get, all my research is also laid out for you in plain, easy to understand English, which you can flip through to show your friends where you discovered the stock that helped build your tech retirement fortune, or your boss when you walk into his office and tell him you've retired. Now, remember, this isn't the first time my unique system has identified trends that have given my readers a chance to snatch massive gains. After all, it's based on following what the big money is doing behind the scenes. As I said before, my job is to find out where the smart money is going and stick to it like glue. That's how I've consistently been able to spot big winners and see gains like these. 1,153% on Matador Resources in 19 months. 2,364% on Tesla in 2.5 years. 523% on Liquidity Services in 10 months. 728% on Mind Medicine in 90 days. 993% on Apple in 8 years. And a whopping 5,377% on Celsius in 5 years. That's enough to turn a $5,000 investment into $268,850 over a 5-year period. It's all about decoding the signals being given off in the smoke-filled back rooms of institutional money and getting in early before the stock hits the market like a mighty and unstoppable shockwave. It's clear as daylight. Take your position in the right stocks and get in before the rocket takes off by following the big money. And you can walk away with a big win, as in big enough to walk away with your dream retirement. Now, I know it's a little personal, but I have to ask, what would life be like if you never had to worry about money again? You've seen the proof of what's possible when you invest early in tomorrow's tech winners. And you have the chance to invest in what I believe could be the most profitable of them all. But put the numbers aside for a minute and try to visualize what a massive payday would mean to you. Would you cut a big check to your favorite local charity? Finally buy a lake house for the family? Could you pay off a mortgage or put someone through college? Maybe you'd buy a new set of clubs to go with your new country club membership. Maybe you wouldn't change anything and kick back with the comfort that comes from realizing you can handle rain, shine, or any financial curveball life chunks your way. I don't pretend to know your personal goals, but I'll tell you this. Today's tech retirement stock could help make all that a reality. starting not decades from now, but this year. It could all start right here. I've included all the urgent details of this stock in my new report, the #1 tech stock of the decade. My publisher has very conservatively priced this report at $249. However, if you're one of the first 500 people to step up and accept my offer today, I'm prepared to hand you this valuable guide over to you right now. All I ask is that you accept my invitation to join us inside my flagship investing system. I call it my stealth trading gold system, and it's causing a stir in the industry because it's designed to be different from typical trading services. Even better, these stealth trade opportunities are popping up all the time. You just need to know where to look. Now, before I go on, there are a few key benefits you need to know about before you reserve your seat in this exclusive service. There are 3 reasons why I'm convinced stealth trading gold can help you strike it rich. Reason number 1, stealth trading gold is no ordinary investment advisory. There is no 100-page monthly newsletter filled with fluff, no complicated system you need to follow, no tons of reading between alerts. But you will get one brand new stealth trading opportunity delivered every 30 days straight from me. So you can count on receiving a total of 12 potential breakout opportunities identified by my system over the next year. And as you'll see in a moment, that's just the beginning of what's waiting for you inside stealth trading gold. See, I cut through all the BS out there and go straight to what I see at the top, most lucrative, under-the-radar stealth trade opportunities shaping up as of that moment. When I sniff that massive institutional money piling in completely unnoticed by most investors, I'll send you my alert. Each red-hot alert will appear in your inbox. Remember those snapshots that I showed you before? Here are a few of them again. Riot Blockchain, Kirkland's, and Alpine 4 Technologies. Can you see how there's a hidden stealth trade surge in black prior to the actual stock price going up in blue? So the key is getting positioned early, and stealth trading gold gives you the crucial heads up. Don't worry, I'll do all the hard work behind the scenes. I'll crunch the numbers and keep my eyes on price and volume activity. So when my blue stealth alarm activates, I'll let you know right away. Bottom line, I'll serve up a juicy stealth trade opportunity to you on a silver platter every 30 days. I'll show you what you can do when the stealth strategy recommends doing it and how you can do it in minutes. Then all you have to do is decide to pull the trigger and make the trade. Pretty great, right? Reason number 2, there's simply no better time to join than right now. Being able to follow in the footsteps of the biggest and richest investors on the planet is exceptionally rare. They like to shield their activity. But I've found a way to decipher what they're doing, and I'm ready to share it with you. In my professional opinion, we have our sights on the biggest and best opportunities you'll see this decade. It could even be a chance to see gains of 180%, 817%, or even 9,480% in a matter of weeks or months. Sometimes even faster. And remember, the #1 tech stock of the decade is just one opportunity. If you want the rest, join us inside Stealth Trading Gold. Reason number 3 is a brand spanking new service. It's your chance to get in early. And isn't that what all this is about anyway? I've been tracking stealth trade activity for years, but I've never offered the general public a chance to join me as I hunt the big whales. But that doesn't mean I haven't been offering solid investment advice to regular folks over the years. I have a loyal tribe of followers, and they can't stop raving about the results from my prior services. Like JH, who says, I've been with the program for 2+ years. I am fully invested in this trading strategy. It is one of the few ways to limit the unknown behind-the-scenes factors that make owning single stocks so risky. I have less confidence in other strategies. Thanks for the great picks. And Ross Steve shows you don't need a lot of money to get started. Ross, thank you for sharing your trading strategy. I purchased your program less than 2 weeks ago and already made my money back using just a $2,000 account. The reviews speak for themselves, and now you can join them today thanks to my brand new service. Here's just a sneak peek of what to expect inside Stealth Trading Gold when you join us today. Monthly stealth trade opportunities. One brand new stealth trade opportunity delivered every 30 days straight from me. That's a total of 12 potential breakout opportunities over the next year. Again, I cut through all the BS out there and show you only what I see as the very best, most lucrative stealth trade opportunities as of that moment. Stealth Trade training videos, a series of 7 easy to follow and information-packed video trainings. These show you everything you need to know and how to implement in no time. These trainings include what are stealth trades, how to find stealth trades, trade and execution risk, what determines stock prices, stop losses, and much, much more. There's a weekly members-only blog. Every Friday, I'll analyze what's happening in the market and help you see beyond the smoke and mirrors that so many other folks settle for. It's an easy way to stay on top of market-related news and keep track of trade alerts in the Stealth Trades watch list. You have full and exclusive access to this weekly blog. There are also Stealth Trade write-ups, unlimited access to the archive of the complete trade write-ups for each and every stealth trade I've identified for my readers. You'll not only know what stocks I'm targeting, but why. Because each write-up goes step by step through how the stock meets my criteria and gives my guidance for the best price opportunities to invest. There's also a Stealth Trades watch list. I update this exclusive list right inside the members area every Monday before the market open. These are the stocks we're tracking very closely on our Stealth Trades radar. The Stealth Trades tracker. Now this is where you see the Stealth Trades track record, how our picks have performed once they've closed. It includes the entry date, the exit date, entry and exit prices and gains, all in one central location in an easy to understand format. You'll have full access, so check it out anytime you want. There are also live video classes. Every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I host a live training exclusively for Stealth Trades members. Just click on the Zoom link, show up, and keep taking your Stealth Trades education to the next level. I'm going to be there with you every step of the way. And the archive of all these live class sessions is in the members area as well. So if you miss a Monday live training or you want to check out past issues, not a problem. I've archived all these sessions right there in the members area for you. Finally, a members-only website. So in summary, you get unlimited, exclusive access to your personal control room for zeroing in on what my strategy says are the market's most promising stealth trades. Weekly blog content, trade alerts, stealth trade write-ups, the watch list portfolio, and more, all in one convenient location you can access easily at any time. Unlimited access to my Stealth Trading Gold VIP concierge staff. Once you've joined, you'll be treated like royalty. Our team of well-trained and educated customer service representatives are waiting to help you with any questions you might have about your membership. And they're a phone call away with our customer care hotline number. This really is the perfect time to join Stealth Trading Gold. But to make this an even bigger no-brainer, when you join Stealth Trading Gold today, I'll also give you a bonus report valued at $179 for free. And it can help you make this your most profitable year ever. Still hot off the presses, it's called Underground Treasure, Ross's top 5 stealth trade opportunities for massive gains. Inside, I lay out what I believe are massive opportunities for stealth trade gains and explain how I use my proprietary system to pick them. Inside, you'll discover a juicy stealth trade investment company that operates hedge funds and high-end credit market investments. Even though it's colossal in size, it returned well over 60% over the past year, and I think it's still gathering momentum. This one is a beast, and I give you the ticker on page 9. The ugly truth about why Warren Buffett's famous approach to investing is not nearly as successful as it seems, and why he hired 2 young guns who bought the stocks that later would save his company. It's on pages 2 to 3. Another killer stealth trade opportunity. This company is a nationwide discount retailer with a huge appeal to practically all demographic and income groups, and a return over the past year that's almost triple the general S&P 500 index. You'll be in for a shock when you see the ticker on page 10. Why you should definitely consider this stealth trade opportunity, a specialty brokerage and financial company with a solid history of stellar sales gains, including a 284.56% sales surge for its most recent quarter. You'll get the details on page 11. Another stunning stealth trade opportunity, which shows just how wild things can get when big money just keeps on pouring into a stock quarter after quarter. This hospitality stock rocketed up 659% in a single year. You'll find my analysis on the ticker on page 13. And more. This special report is not available to the wider public. If I ever did decide to make it available to them, it would retail for at least $179. This report, as well as the #1 tech stock of the decade report, are both included as part of your subscription at no extra cost if you join today. Consider it my thank you for trusting me to show you today's stock and many others coming your way as a member of Stealth Trading Gold. Are you ready to get started with Stealth Trading Gold? Folks from all walks of life keep sending me texts and messages to say thank you for helping them make money with my specialized methods and training. Take Bruce J., who writes, quote, "Very nice analysis and market forecast. I dipped my toe on this one with a debit spread and I'm up 70% already." And Steve H., who took my system like a bee to honey. He said, quote, "I have never traded options or stock before. I took my first trade and made over $1,000 in the stock and over $1,000 on the option. The second trade I did, I made $650 on the stock and over $950 on the option. 2 picks, 2 winners. I already paid my subscription service in the first 2 trades and it only took me 2 weeks. It is so nice to see a service that actually delivers what they advertise." Look, I've lost track of how many emails and messages and even videos like these I've gotten over the years, but no matter how many it is, the one thing I can tell you about each of them is it's humbling. Now, of course, the exceptional results these investors achieved is never guaranteed. Even using my stealth trading system, investing always has some risk. But none of these investors achieve success by twiddling their thumbs and not acting. Listen, I need to say that again, because I've sat across from countless investors in my career on and off of Wall Street, and I've watched many students go from rookies to wildly successful investors. Not one of them got there by sitting out on the sidelines. Now, I understand you might not have known me before today, and therefore it's fair to want to see a more comprehensive track record. Stealth Trading Gold is a newer service, but this isn't my first rodeo. For example, here are a few of our open trades from one of my other services. 117% on Costco, 200% on Resideo Technology, 101% on Invesco, 455% on Liquidity Services, 1,035% on Matador Resources. So listen, I am no stranger to identifying profitable trading opportunities. And once again, I've built my new service by closely studying and tracking stealth trades like these. 9,480% on Alpine 4 Technologies, 700% on Riot Blockchain, 618% on Aurora Cannabis, 385% on Oculus Vision Tech, 510% on Bit Digital, 817% on IZEA, and 1,173% on Kirkland's. I've dialed it in, and now's the time to give investors like you the opportunity to put my system to work in your own investment activity. Given that, you might think I've gone ahead and priced it out of your current reach. Well, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised at just how affordable I've been able to make everything today. And by affordable, I mean it. Just $89 for a full year. I'm talking about a mere 24 cents a day. That's less than a quarter. Something you could lose every day in the seat cushions of your couch and not even think twice about. In the wealth management industry, you won't find a deal like that anywhere in America. Clients have paid me tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars for my expertise. I've been inside the belly of the Wall Street beast managing money for firms with deep pockets. I could easily charge more for this new service, but again, my own compass has taken me away from those elite to now showing regular Americans trading opportunities I think could score them life-changing profits from every recommendation in Stealth Trading Gold. I'm pulling out all the stops in order to help you get as much out of the stock market and into your bank account as humanly possible. On top of that, I'm so confident that you will see a steady stream of big cash payments in the next 12 months that I'm completely got your back with my 365-day every penny back guarantee. I want you to take 12 months to test drive Stealth Trading Gold, to kick the tires and make sure you like what you see. That means you can see how this tech retirement stock performs. Put my system, based on my years of experience working with high-level Wall Street professionals, to the test. Check out the 5 opportunities in your Underground Treasure Report and take part in the potential runaway freight train of profits I'm predicting. And after all that, if you are not absolutely thrilled and far better off, at any time over the next year, you'll get my every penny back guarantee. That's right, you're entitled to every penny of your purchase price back if you cancel any time over the next 365 days. No questions asked, every single penny. So, how's that for a square deal? It would be highly unusual that a charter member cancels, but I want you to know I am 100% committed to your complete satisfaction beginning right now. Who else gives you 365 days to make it a final decision? No one, as far as I know. For you, it all starts with today's tech retirement stock. And don't forget, my goal with this stock isn't just for you to add a few $1,000s to your portfolio. I want this tech stock of the decade to pay for your retirement. Yes, whether that means $200,000, $1 million, or $5 million. I want to make sure everyone gets a shot at today's tech stock profits, which is why I've negotiated this very generous deal for you with my publisher. Now, let's recap everything you get when you join Stealth Trading Gold today. VIP access to 12 new stealth trade opportunities identified by my system over the next year, delivered on or about the first Friday of each month. A full year of complete write-ups for each and every stealth trade opportunity my strategy recommends. A weekly watch list so you know which stealth trade opportunities I'm investigating. My unique stealth trade trackers that scrutinize the trades after I tell you about them. Your free special report called Underground Treasure, Ross's top 5 stealth trade opportunities for massive gains. My exclusive Trader's Playbook, showing how quick and easy it is to exploit the stealth market for potentially extraordinary gains. And let's not forget your exclusive #1 tech stock of the decade special report. Altogether, that breakdown looks like this. Stealth Trading Gold, $3,999. 2 special reports, $428. For a complete total value of $4,418. And it's all yours. The membership in the Stealth Trading Gold, the bonus special report, and your #1 tech stock of the decade for just $89 when you join today. If that sounds like a dream come true, you're not wrong. Frankly, at this point, I'm out of ideas. I don't know how to make this offer any better. This tech retirement stock is one of the best opportunities I've seen in my career. The sharks who joined Billionaires Row with Facebook think something big is coming. That's why they're all invested in this stock. Again, I think it could be like buying the best 5 tech stocks of all time, rolled into one. But a final warning I'll repeat, waiting just a few extra days or weeks might mean missing out on hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. You saw how hesitating on Netflix could cost you over $1 million, which is why it kills me when I hear someone say, right now isn't the perfect time. Let me sit on this until next week. Then next week turns into next month, into next year, into, you guessed it, never. I hope you don't look back months from now and regret the same mistake. Click the button below now to lock in this historic opportunity. I don't see stocks that I think of this kind of upside very often. The first time I put my money on the line for a big win, it took courage to quiet the butterflies in my stomach and take action. But I ponied up and bought the stock anyway. I consider that one of the best investment decisions of my life. Today, you can take the first step towards achieving the same thing. I can't wait for you to feel what it's like. For most of the people you know, your neighbors, your friends, your coworkers, the uncertainty has reached a breaking point. You can be the voice of reason for them. You can show them that it is possible to have freedom and control.